I noticed a strange pattern in my own thinking. Whenever I considered trying something new, I would immediately look for evidence that I'd be naturally good at it. If I wanted to learn guitar, I'd wonder if I had talent. If I wanted to write, I'd question whether I had the right ideas. If I wanted to start a business, I'd obsess over whether I had the right personality for it. The underlying question was always the same. Would I be good at this? If the answer wasn't immediately obvious, my enthusiasm would quietly disappear. At first, this felt sensible. Why waste time on something you're naturally bad at? But then I noticed a problem. Every single skill I was proud of had once been something I was absolutely terrible at. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If being bad at something is the literal price of becoming good at it, why are we so desperate to avoid it? When you're a kid, being a beginner is just normal. Nobody expects a child to pick up a pencil and draw a masterpiece, sit at a piano and play beautifully, or hop on a bicycle and ride perfectly. Being bad is simply part of the experience. It's so deeply expected that nobody even talks about it. Then, somewhere along the way, things change. You grow up, you become competent, and you find a few things you're actually good at. Without realizing it, you start protecting that image. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is learning and start seeing yourself as someone who already knows. And that is exactly when life becomes surprisingly small. I think this is why so many adults secretly harbor passions they never actually pursue. They want to paint, make videos, learn a language, write a book, start a business, or play an instrument. But wanting and starting are separated by a very awkward phase. The phase where you're embarrassingly bad, where your work looks nothing like the vision in your head, and where people can actually see you trying. Nobody talks about how uncomfortable that vulnerability feels. It is infinitely easier to stay interested in a hobby than it is to become a beginner at it. That's why so many dreams live permanently in the imagination. They are safe from reality there, protected from mistakes, evidence, and failure. The funny thing is that we admire beginners all the time. We just don't admire ourselves when we are the ones struggling. We watch someone learn to skateboard, practice drawing, or document their first intimidating day at the gym, and we find it genuinely admirable. We respect that they are willing to be seen before they are impressive. Yet, when it's our turn, we suddenly become much less generous. We expect ourselves to magically skip the awkward part. We want the confidence of experience without the actual experience, the skill without the practice, and the result without the years. Because reality refuses to cooperate with that fantasy, we often quit before we've given ourselves a fair shot. I sometimes think the internet has made this psychological trap much worse. We are constantly exposed to finished products, polished books, successful businesses, perfect physiques, and peak careers. We rarely see the messy beginnings, the terrible first drafts, the ugly prototypes, the abandoned experiments, and the years of sheer confusion. As a result, we compare our day 1 to someone else's year 10. We wonder why we feel inadequate, but of course we do. We are comparing our raw, unedited footage to their final cinematic edit. What's ironic is that the people who seem the most impressive are often the ones who stay beginners the longest. They willingly enter rooms where nobody knows who they are, ask questions they should probably already know the answers to, and risk looking foolish again and again. While most people spend their lives trying to avoid that feeling, a small number learn to make peace with it. Those are the people who keep growing long after everyone else has settled into a stagnant version of themselves. Maybe that's the real difference in life. It isn't talent, intelligence, or confidence, but rather a completely different relationship with embarrassment. Some people interpret embarrassment as a stop sign, while others interpret it as proof that they are learning something new. The physical feeling is exactly the same. The meaning we assign to it is just different. The older I get, the less impressed I am by pure expertise. Expertise is valuable, but it is predictable. What impresses me now is watching someone willingly choose to become a beginner. It's watching a successful writer try stand-up comedy, an entrepreneur learn to paint, or a designer struggle with a musical instrument. There is something incredibly refreshing and alive about watching anyone step into a room where they are no longer special, where nobody cares about their previous achievements, and where they have to earn progress entirely from scratch. Most people think growth is about adding things to yourself, more knowledge, more skills, more experience. But maybe real growth is actually about giving something up. It's about shedding the need to appear competent, the need to always know what you're doing, and the need to protect an identity you've outgrown. Every truly interesting chapter of life begins the exact same way, with a person standing at the edge of something unfamiliar, feeling slightly stupid, slightly lost, and slightly exposed, and deciding to continue anyway. That is the true art of being a beginner again.